यशोद यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So let's start with the prayers, Mangalacharan prayers. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितां तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते. तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.4, Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी. कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंद गोप कुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रहे। नमो ब्राह्मण्याय देवाय गो ब्राह्मण हिताय च जगद्धिताय कृष्णाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। प्लीज रिपीट आफ्टर मी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
वासुदेवाय।
Hare Krishna Prabhujis and Matajis, Dandvat Pranam. So thank you for joining the class. So today is, as I said earlier also, today is Dahi Chida festival, right? So Dahi Chida festival is celebrated. I mean, Raghunath Das Goswami first, I mean, for and to serve his devotees, offer dahi chida to all his assembled Vaishnavas. So first will talk about who is Raghunath Das Goswami, and we'll look at a brief biography of him. Because we all know that Raghunath Das Goswami is one of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. So so who are the 6 Goswamis? So first is Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and Raghunath Das Goswami. So these 6 Goswamis are, I mean, they are the ones who have provided us with all the uh, literature teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they are the ones who are the connection between us and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. So they are the ones who are providing us the transcendental mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. So it is through them we connect to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu are like moon, and these 6 Goswamis are the rays of those moons which provide us with the cooling effect. So we are burning in this material world, and the 6 Goswamis, through their teachings, through their various pastimes, and through their, I mean, not just their teachings, but they are teaching us with their own behavior and their own life. um, they are giving us that ruchi in bhakti. So the 6 Goswamis are very important, and it is very important for us as followers of Gaudiya Vaishnavas uh, to um, to know the lives of these Goswamis, to understand and know every details, every pastime. I mean, to study their lives. It will give us I mean, this will bestow on us the mercy of these 6 Goswamis, and through the mercy of these 6 Goswamis, we can attain the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So let's start with I mean, to start with, like there is a, in Chaitanya Charitamrit Antya Leela, there is a chapter 6, and this chapter actually describes the meeting of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Raghunath Das Goswami. So the complete chapter describes how Raghunath Das Goswami met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and how he got mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prabhu through Lilananda, through Nityanand Prabhu. So this and in this pastime, the festival of Dahi Chida festival is celebrated, and is described how it was celebrated, who are the people who attended the festival, what was the reason for celebrating the festival. So all that is described in this chapter. So Raghunath Das Goswami was actually, so if you look at the 6 Goswamis, 4 of them are from South India. And so who are those 4? Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Jiva Goswami, and Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, and Jiva Goswami are from Karnataka. They were Saraswat Brahmins. And Gopal Bhatta Goswami is from Tamil Nadu. And Raghunath Das Goswami is the one from Bengal, and Raghunath Bhatta Goswami is from Uttar Pradesh. So you can see that most of the Goswamis are from South India, and Raghunath Das Goswami is the one who is from West Bengal or Bengal, the Gaudiya Desh. And Raghunath Das Goswami was born in a very opulent family. His father's name was Govardhan Majumdar, and the father's elder brother, his name is Hiranya Majumdar. Majumdar is actually a title given to his father by the Muslim king there, Sher Hussain, if I am correct, Sher Shah Hussain, I think. And so the father and his father Govardhan Majumdar and Hiranya Majumdar, Raghunath Das Goswami was the only son in the family between both the brothers. So Raghunath Das Goswami was brought up with great affection, with great care. I mean, he Govardhan Majumdar and Hiranya Majumdar, they had, I mean, basically the king had leased them, you can say leased them, the district of Saptagram. And so they were the tax collectors. And the income of Govardhan Majumdar was like around, at that time, he used to collect 20 lakh gold coins. And out of that, he used to give 15 lakh gold coins or 12 lakh gold coins to the king. And the rest 5 lakh gold coins he used to keep with himself. So at that time, I mean, basically, Raghunath Das Goswami was born in a family of millionaires. And Chaitanya Charitamrita actually describes that he had Aishwarya like Indra. So that shloka will come, we'll take a look where it is described. So basically he was born in a very opulent family, but and the atmosphere in his family, like the Kul Guru, or the guru who used to take care of the deities, was Yadunanda Acharya, and the guru was Balram Acharya. Now this Yadunanda Acharya was actually a disciple of Advait Acharya, and so Advait Acharya, whenever he gave initiation to anybody, like he had a very strict initiation was, and the way he used to, I mean, if you took initiation from Advaita Acharya, I mean, basically what he used to do is, if let's say there are 4 disciples sitting, he used to basically tie their chotis to a pole, and till you finish your rounds, you cannot get up. So and they used to chant 64 rounds daily. So it was like you have to finish your rounds, and then only you can go or do anything else or do prasad. So basically used to tie their chotis and make them sit at one place and do the rounds. So Advaita Acharya had very strict initiation was, and Yadunanda Acharya was a disciple of Advaita Acharya. And Balram Acharya was their guru. He was a very good friend with Haridas Thakur. And Haridas Thakur, as we know, the Namacharya, he used to come to the house of Govardhan Majumdar. So Raghunath Das Goswami used to serve Haridas Thakur, and in the childhood, like he used to imitate Haridas Thakur chanting. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So his parents, after looking at Raghunath Das Goswami, used to feel very happy. I mean, when the son is small, his chanting, parents feel happy. But as he started growing, and he continued to chant, and so they became little worried, basically. So this was the atmosphere of the house of Raghunath Das Goswami, where, I mean, he had the association of very high class Vaishnavas. I mean, very elated Vaishnavas. So elevated Vaishnavas. So that's why, right from childhood, Raghunath Das Goswami understood that this material life or this opulences are all temporary, and they cannot give any um, happiness, or are temporary, and hence cannot give permanent happiness. So he understood that very early in the life, like just like Prahlad Maharaj, right? Once he got association of Narad Muni, he understood that the material life is of no use. So this similarly, Raghunath Das Goswami, because he got association of very elevated Vaishnavas, he understood this, and was very detached from material life. So his parents were actually very worried, and wanted Raghunath Das Goswami to, I mean, because he was the only son between the family, and so they were very worried, and out of affection they were worried, and wanted him to be like, I mean, behave as a normal person, and enjoy the opulences. So this is how, I mean, the childhood of Raghunath Das Goswami is. And slowly, when he became 15 years old, so during that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had taken sannyas in Katwa, and Nityanand Prabhu had brought him to Shantipur. So Raghunath Das Goswami, after hearing about Nityanand Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wanted to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he ran away from the home, and actually met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he in Shantipur, he served Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Like, he used to serve him prasad. I mean, he used to do dandvat to him. He used to massage the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also understood that he is my eternal associate, and he was happy to look to see Raghunath Das Goswami. Um, and so Raghunath Das Goswami actually served very intimately Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for those 10 days. Now, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was leaving Shantipur, he wanted to go with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that this is not the right time. You are very young. No, 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 no. You cannot come. So he sent him away. Go back home, and once you grow up, we will see. Again, so Raghunath Das Goswami came back home. He was very detached from the material life, and he so so what he told his parents, that I want to go and live with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and I don't want to enjoy these opulences and everything. But the parents did not allow him, and so they told him that you can meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu whenever he comes to Shantipur. So the next time, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited Shantipur, again Raghunath Das Goswami went there. He served the Lord. Again, he asked for permission of the Lord, that I want to stay with you. I want to give up all this, and I want to be your eternal servant. Again, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu refused and sent him back. So that is what is the background, I mean, of this, and we'll start looking at some of these shlokas, or some of the, and we'll read few of these translation. This pastime is extremely sweet, and actually it is little heavy as well, because it describes the renounced order of life which Raghunath Das Goswami lived, and how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed him. So this contains some instructions from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, for normal people like us, I mean, this is it may sound very heavy, but it describes the sweet pastime between the Lord and Raghunath Das Goswami. So we'll look at this. So here it starts with, let's look at text 13. So Raghunath Das Goswami, during his sorry. So when Raghunath Das during his family life, went to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Shantipura, the Lord gave him worthy instructions by his causeless mercy. So what is the instruction which the Lord has given? So let's look at that. So Prabhura shikshate teno nija ghare ya markatta vairagya chadi haila vishayi prayay. So what is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying? Instead of becoming a so-called renunciate, Raghunath Das, following the instruction of the Lord, returned home and played exactly like a pounds and shilling man. So what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying is, give up your markatta vairagya. What is markatta vairagya? A vairagya like monkeys, monkey renunciation. Now, what does that mean actually? Monkey renunciation. Now, if you look at monkeys, like they live naked, right? They are, if you look at them, I mean, you will feel that they are very detached. But the monkeys are always internally, they are always looking at satisfying their senses. So that is what is markatta vairagya. Externally you want to show that you are renunciate, but internally you want to enjoy your senses. So what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying is, I know that you have been married recently, so give up this markatta vairagya, give up this monkey renunciation and just go back home and live like a normal person. I mean, like a pounds and shillings man. So just live like a normal materialistic man, right? Then the next instruction is, so what is, so the next text says, Raghunath Das was inwardly completely renounced even in family life, but he did not express his renunciation externally. Instead, so he following the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what Raghunath Das Goswami is doing, he's completely renounced internally in the family life also, but he is acting like an ordinary businessman. So seeing this, the father and mother were satisfied. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent him back and said that you will live a normal life. When the time will come, I'll call you. And so the parents were happy. Yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given him the right instruction. Now he has come back and he is now leading a normal life. But internally, Raghunath Das Goswami was completely renounced. I mean, he was not interested at all, but he did not show it externally, right? As I said, when he again came back, when he Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again came back, he again went to meet him, right? So then there is a small pastime about a Muslim official who was collecting taxes. So basically, the so this from text 17 to few texts down. So it describes about how Raghunath Das Goswami, being a devotee of the Lord, was very submissive, and he could even attract the hearts of non-devotees as well. So this pastime actually shows that. So basically a Muslim Chaudhary came in. So there was some conflict. I mean, Govardhan Majumdar was collecting some taxes, so he became the tax collector. So the Muslim Chaudhary became very envious of him, and so he complained to the government and that his father is collecting more taxes and is not giving. So there was some misunderstanding, and because of that, Hiranya Das and Govardhan Majumdar had actually gone out, and Hiranya Majumdar actually ran away, fearing arrest. So only Raghunath Das was there. So the Muslim Chaudhary actually captured Raghunath Das. But Raghunath Das, being a devotee, he basically thought of how to get out of this. So he told the Chaudhary, my dear sir, my father and his elder brother are your brothers. Basically he's saying this, all brothers always fight about something, right? There is always a fight between the brothers. So similarly, this fight has come up. Let's try to resolve it. Sometimes brothers fight among themselves, and sometimes they have a very friendly dealings. There is no certainty when such changes will take place. Thus, I am sure that although today you are fighting, tomorrow you three brothers will be sitting together. So he's trying to basically pacify the Muslim Chaudhary. And the next thing he says, that just as my father's son, I am also yours. So I'm your dependent and you are my maintainer. So you are like my father and I'm dependent on you and you are maintainer. So being I being dependent on you, you should not punish me. So for a maintainer to punish the person he maintains is not good. So this is how he basically tried to I mean, the Muslim Chaudhary became very compassionate, and he had tears flowing from his eyes. His beard became wet with tears, and he told Raghunath that, okay, I understand what you are saying, and I mean, your father's I give you, I mean, basically you arrange a meeting between me and your father and your father's brother, so that we can resolve this, and I will accept whatever you tell them for the resolution. So that's what I mean, Raghunath Das Goswami could completely win over that Muslim Chaudhary. So you can see how Raghunath Das Goswami, being a humble devotee, could even convince non-devotees, and this is just purely a business dealing. So even in that, so Raghunath Das Goswami basically, I mean, it shows the quality of his humbleness, his submissiveness, and the way he conducted himself. So then going forward, uh, so as we see that the parents were very anxious, right? Because Raghunath Das Goswami used to run away, and he tried many times. Raghunath Das Goswami tried many times. He used to run away, being very famous. Govardhan Majumdar being very famous, he used to send people. They used to catch him back and bring him back. So this happened many times. So the parents became very anxious, and now they had put up security for him. So it was like kind of a Z plus security, where around 10 to 15 people were always keeping a watch on Raghunath Das. So he was not allowed to go anywhere alone. I mean, he was watched at all the places. Wherever he went, there were guards with him. So so the parents are actually discussing amongst themselves. So this is very important. Let's look at so as I said, he got up alone and left, but his father caught him in a distant place and brought him back. So this became a daily affair, and hence they had put up the security for him. uh, so what his mother is saying to his father, right? So this is let's look at this. Putra batula haila iha rakhela bandiya tanara pitar kahe tare nirvina hana. So what is happening is, the mother is saying, our son has become mad, so let's try him with the ropes. So in response to this, the father is saying the next shloka. So let's look at what he's saying. So he's saying this: Indra sama Aishwarya, Stri Apsara sama, E Sabha Bandite Nari Leka, Yanara Mana. So you can see what his father is saying. He has Aishwarya like Indra, and his wife is like an Apsara. All this cannot bind him. Then what is the use of the material ropes? Nothing can bind him. So if his mind is not bound by these subtle ropes, the use of physical ropes are useless. I mean, nobody can bind him with the physical ropes. So that is what is his father is saying. I mean, we have a similar situation, right? We get bound by these subtle ropes of family life, and uh, so the dependence and all that, right? And it's not just I mean, we cannot also leave our opulences, we can also not leave our material education, right? We are very proud of our material education. So that is what uh, is being told here, right? Indra sama Aishwarya. So he had opulences like Indra. So at that time, I mean, you can think of, like, in today's terms, just being like a son of an Ambani, right? And his son running, and they are bringing him back again and again. So that was what the opulence of. I mean, I'm just giving a comparison, right? Because in those days, somebody being rich like was. I mean, there was a huge gap, right? Today, you can still see people have some wealth, little slightly better distribution. You can find many rich people, but in those days, somebody who was rich was really, really very rich, right? So that is what Indra Sama Aishwarya means. And again, the next sloka is very important. No, sorry. Uh, let's move ahead. This one. Chaitanya Chandrera Kripa Haneche Inhare Chaitanya Chandrera Batula ke rakhite pare. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has fully bestowed his mercy to him. Who can keep home such a madman of Chaitanya Chandra? So that is what his father is saying to Raghunath Das Goswami's mother, that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has bestowed his mercy on him. So what can we do now to keep such madman of Chaitanya Chandra at home? We cannot do anything. It's they have understood that they are they are kind of helpless, but still they out of affection are trying their best to bring him back to that material life. But Raghunath Das Goswami has already surrendered his heart to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and is ready to, I mean, basically go. So next, let's look at again. Go back to the yeah. So then, in this pastime, further one day, Nityananda. So he's, you can see that Raghunath Das Goswami was trying to run away from home, but was never successful. So then he was actually thinking why he's not successful. What is happening? What is going wrong? Why am I not able to run away? I don't want to live here, but still he was not successful. Then what happened is one day Nityanand Prabhu came to the village of Panihati. As you can see here, it is mentioned. So there, and Nityanand Prabhu was with all of his associates, and they had come here, and they were performing kirtan, and Nityanand Prabhu was sitting on a rock under a tree on the bank of Ganges, right? So and he seemed effulgent as hundreds of thousands of rising suns. So Raghunath Das Goswami went to see Nityanand Prabhu, and when he saw Nityanand Prabhu from a distance, and he paid obeisances, Dandvat Pranam to Nityanand Prabhu from a distance. So Nityanand Prabhu was discussing something with his associates, and Nityanand Prabhu did not see Raghunath Das Goswami, and but Raghunath Das Goswami paid obeisances to uh, to Nityanand Prabhu. Now, here is one important point about when we see a Vaishnava, right? So our duty is to actually pay Dandvat obeisances to him. Whenever we see a Vaishnava, he may be not seeing us, but whenever we see a Vaishnava, it is our, I mean, the etiquette is to pay Dandvat Pranam to the Vaishnava. The second type is when the Vaishnava sees us, again we should pay Dandavat. And the third is when you go near him and pay Dandavat. So these are the three pranams which should be done to a Vaishnava whenever we meet him or see him or whatever, whenever we get to associate with a Vaishnava. And that is what is mentioned in the scriptures. So Raghunath Das Goswami paid obeisances to Nityanand Prabhu, and so one servant of Raghunath Das Goswami, Nityanand Prabhu, told that Govardhan Majumdar's son has come. You see, Govardhan Majumdar's son is paying you obeisances. So look, I mean, after hearing this, Nityanand Prabhu says this. Let's look at this. Shuni Prabhu kahe, chora dili darshana, aya aya ajit tora karimu dandana. So what is Nityanand Prabhu saying? You are a thief. Now you have come to see me. Come here. Come here. Today I shall punish you. Now, now you can see that Raghunath Das Goswami is a millionaire. So what do you think? Why is Nityanand Prabhu saying that you are a thief? I mean, what can Raghunath Das Goswami steal actually? Anybody? Any guesses?
Stealing the names of Lord Hari?
Pretty close. Actually, see, the Raghunath Das Goswami actually approached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly, right, without going through Nityanand Prabhu. And the Lord, the Supreme Lord, is actually a property of the Vaishnavas, right? Only they can give the Lord. So what Nityanand Prabhu is saying, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is my property, and you are stealing my property by directly trying to approach him and try to get him. So basically you are taking my property, and hence you are a thief, right? You are a thief. That's what Nityanand Prabhu is saying. And I mean, if you look at this bhajan by by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, right? Oye Vaishnava Thakura. So here also uh, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, Krishna se tomara, Krishna deti paro, tomara shakti ache, ami to kangala, Krishna Krishna boli, dhai tava pache pache. What does that mean? Uh, Krishna is yours, right? Even Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying to that Krishna is yours. I mean, the Vaishnavas own Krishna. Krishna is their property, and they only have. You have the power to give him to me. I am simply running behind you by shouting Krishna, Krishna, right? I mean, this bhajan is very very deep, and I mean, I really like this, right? What is Oh he Vaishnava Thakura Doyara Sagara Edase Karuna Kori Diya Pada Chaya Shodo he Amaya Tomara Charana Dhori. So what is Bhaktivinoda Thakur saying is, O Venerable Vaishnava, O Ocean of Mercy, be merciful unto your servant. Give me the shade of your lotus feet and purify me. I hold on to your lotus feet. Now, what is he asking for? Chaya bega domi, chaya dosha sodi, chaya guna deho dase, chaya satsanga deho he amara, boshe chisangera ase. So what is he asking for? Teach me to control my six passions, rectify my six faults, bestow upon me the six qualities, and offer unto me the six kinds of holy association. And what are these actually? The uh, six passion, we studied all this in nectar of instruction, right? So the nectar of instructions also say the same thing, right? The six passions are the mind, the anger, the tongue, the stomach, and the genitals. The six faults are overeating, attachment to material things, inability to follow regulative principles, sense gratification, useless idle talk, and impure habits. And again, what is he asking for? To take away these six the bad qualities and give this positive qualities like enthusiasm, right? Enthusiasm in practicing devotional service, firm faith in devotional processes, a strong desire to attain prema bhakti. So again, I mean, as we see that Krishna is property of Vaishnavas, and we have to beg from them by offering our services to them. Once they become happy or the Guru becomes happy, then only you can obtain Krishna. Directly approaching Krishna is not possible. You will not be successful and you will not get the mercy of the Lord. So that is what Nityanand Prabhu is saying here, that you are a thief because you are trying to steal Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from me. And because you have tried that, I will now give you a punishment. So this is what was the punishment I was talking about, right? So what does Nityanand Prabhu then say? Uh, sorry, I will go back to the oh, sorry, what is happening? I am yeah. So what Nityanand Prabhu is now he's calling Raghunath Das Goswami to come near him, and then he said, you are a thief. You are, instead of coming near, you are running away. Now I have captured you and I shall punish you. Now what is the punishment which Nityanand Prabhu gives? And that is described in the text 51. So this is the punishment or the transcendental punishment which Nityanand Prabhu has given to Raghunath Das Goswami. Dhadi chida bhakshana karaha mora gane shuni anandita haila Raghunatha mane. So Raghunath Das Goswami became very happy when he heard this. That what is Nityanand Prabhu asking him? Nityanand Prabhu is asking him to serve dahi chida to all his devotees. Mora gane, right? Dahi chida bhakshana karaha mora gane. So please organize a festival and serve dahi chida to all my associates. Whoever is present here, they must be served dahi chida. So Raghunath Das Goswami, on hearing this, became very happy. He was ecstatic that now I will get mercy of Nityanand Prabhu, and then I will get Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what did Raghunath Das Goswami do? Then he started making preparations for this festival. So he ordered all his servants to go to the village to get pots. So he bought around 200 big pots. Then they bought four very big pots, and they started making preparations for this festival. And what Nityanand Prabhu had asked him is to make two types of dahi chida, or one with dahi and chida, another with boiled rice, with boiled milk, condensed milk and chida, and also sweet meats and other things. And then there is champakela, right? There is so here it said, right, what Raghunath Das brought: chipped rice, yogurt, milk, sweet meats, sugar, bananas and other eatables, and placed them all around. So he started making two types of dahi chida, basically one with curd, yogurt, and another with milk. And he started making all the preparations. Now as soon as this message went out that there is a festival going on, a lot of people started coming there, and they started assembling there. So a lot of brahmanas came along with their associates. So the crowd started increasing slowly, and Raghunath Das Goswami brought everything from the village, right? He bought almost, I mean, whatever was available. You can see that he bought 2 to 400 large round earthen pots, and he also obtained 5 or 7 specially large earthen pots. I said 4, sorry, this is 5 or 7. I mean, this is mentioned here, very specific details. And he started making those preparations. And the brahmanas who had come also started assisting him in doing all this. So the Nityanand Prabhu, I mean, once this was all prepared, uh, he the brahmanas brought those 4 pots in front of Nityanand Prabhu, and Nityanand Prabhu actually changed his clothes and sat on that platform, and the brahmanas brought him those huge 7 pots, and then they started serving the dahi chida to all the devotees. So they basically gave everybody 2 pots, one with the yogurt and chipped rice, and another with milk and chipped rice. So everybody, now, I mean, it is mentioned here that there were so many people that there was no space there. So people started sitting on the trees. Even people went and sat in, I mean, they were on the banks of Ganges, and some people even went into the Ganges, and they were like almost till the neck they were in water, but they were still having that dahi chida, right? So even people in were there. So there were so many people who had come, and in fact it is mentioned who were there. The devotees who were present are also mentioned here, uh, and who came for this festival. So the Raghunath Das Goswami started serving them, all of them, one by one, and the brahmanas assisted him. So the festival, and looking at this, Nityanand Prabhu became very happy, and Nityanand Prabhu then actually asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come. And it is mentioned in the Shastras that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always is present in this, I mean, always comes uh, at these 4, whenever these 4 things happen. When Raghav Pandit cooks, so at that time, to honor Prasadam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will always come. When Sachi Mata cooks, then also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will always come to honor that. He will always come to whenever Srivas Acharya is singing, and when Nityanand Prabhu is dancing, or he always comes to Srivas Angan basically, and he will always come when Nityanand Prabhu dances. So Nityanand Prabhu actually asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come, and nobody could see that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has actually come. Only few people who were blessed could see that, and so these 2 brothers, I mean, Nityanand Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityanand Prabhu was showing to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all the people who had come. Look, they are sitting on the trees, they're sitting on the banks of Ganges, they're sitting in the Ganges also. So Nityanand Prabhu was showing all this to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy to see all that. and then Nityanand Prabhu took those pots and he started offering the chipped rice to with I mean he used to take a morsel and put it in the mouth of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and similarly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took a morsel of this chipped rice and fed Nityanand Prabhu. So those two brothers basically started enjoying this transcendental affair, and they sat down and had prasad. So Nityanand Prabhu, I mean it is all mentioned in this pastime. All these slokas one by one mention all the details of this. And I mean Nityanand Prabhu had asked Raghav Pandit to cook the meal, because I mean whenever, and Raghav Pandit is a very uh, blessed cook. I mean actually Radharani, I mean whenever Raghav Pandit cooks, he when after cooking he meditates, and Radharani personally comes and tells him, oh, in this something is less, salt is less, so put salt. Oh, this is not properly cooked, or there is something less, so put all this. So he had, I mean he was assisted by, I mean he was basically guided by Radharani while cooking. So Raghav Pandit had prepared meals for Nityanand Prabhu, and he told that I have cooked for you, and you are now enjoying this festival. So basically Nityanand Prabhu told him one thing here. This is a good important shloka, uh, that I mean Gopa Jati Ami Bahu Gopa Gane Sange Ami Shukha Pai Ei Pulina Bhoje Range. So what is Nityanand Prabhu saying? I belong to a community of cowherd boys, and therefore I generally have many cowherd associates with me. I am happy when we eat together in a picnic like this by the sandy bank of the river. So Nityanand Prabhu is actually remembering his days in Vrindavan, where he used to sit on the banks of Jamuna and enjoy the meal with Krishna and his associates. So that is what Nityanand Prabhu is saying that to Raghav Pandit, that yes, you have cooked for me, and I will honor that prasad also in the evening. But for me, I am a person of cowherd. I mean, I am from the community of cowherd boys, and I enjoy eating with my associates. So this shows that the Lord always enjoys with his associates. He wants to give transcendental pleasure to his devotees, and similarly the devotees also want to give pleasure to the Lord, and this is what is the exchange between the devotees and the Lord. So that is what Nityanand Prabhu tells Raghav Pandit, and so the festival gets over, everybody is served nicely, and everybody is eating the prasad, and Nityanand Prabhu actually asked them to chant the names of Hari. And so everybody actually starts chanting the name of Hari, and the universe is filled with the names of Hari. So everybody enjoy that festival, and then they slowly start dispersing. And in the evening, Nityanand Prabhu goes to Raghav Pandit's house and honors the prasadam which he had prepared. And Raghunath Das Goswami actually stays there with Nityanand Prabhu. He massages the feet of Nityanand Prabhu and serves Nityanand Prabhu. And so next day morning, basically Raghunath Das Goswami through Raghav Pandit uh, tells Nityanand Prabhu that I want to obtain the lotus feet of the Lord. I am a dwarf, and I'm trying to catch the moon. That is what he compares himself to. I'm a very lowly class person, and I'm trying to catch the moon. So he compares that I'm a dwarf and I'm trying to catch the moon, like he's trying to get hold of the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he thinks that he is very lowly. So he's asking for mercy from Nityanand Prabhu. And Nityanand Prabhu, after looking at Raghunath Das Goswami and his surrender and his humbleness, gives this blessing to Raghunath Das Goswami, that now you will get the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and you will be able to achieve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he puts Nityanand Prabhu actually puts his feet on the head of Raghunath Das Goswami, and everybody, all the Vaishnavas who are present there, become very happy with this. I mean, everybody wanted the feet of Nityanand Prabhu. I mean, they want to achieve that feat of Nityanand, and Raghunath Das Goswami was getting that mercy. So they become very happy. They are not envious of Raghunath Das Goswami, but they become very happy after seeing that Raghunath Das Goswami has got the mercy of Nityanand Prabhu. And so the festival ends, and Nityanand Prabhu, I mean, Raghunath Das Goswami comes back. Now he's always thinking of how can I run? How can I run? So one day, so now he has got that mercy, and Nityanand Prabhu has said that you will now be able to achieve the lotus feet of uh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he comes back home, and as usual, he was already very detached. So he was not even. In fact, he stopped staying in the house. He started living in the outer courtyard of his home, and so, and again, those security guards were always with him. So he could not. He was always thinking of how can I run, and then an opportunity comes up. So one day, their Kulguru, Yadunanda Acharya, he comes to the home of Raghunath Das Goswami and tells his father that I have to go out somewhere, and so who will take care of deities? So and he asked, Yadunanda Acharya actually asked in front of his father that there is a Brahmana who used to do the service. So I will ask Raghunath Das Goswami to actually ask him to assist now. So Govardhan Majumdar says, okay, fine. So then basically Yadunanda Acharya and Raghunath Das Goswami, they come out of the house. Now when he's coming out of the house, all this has happened in front of his father, and the guards also think that he's going with the Kul Guru of the house. So there's no problem. So they just come out, and Raghunath Das Goswami tells Yadunanda Acharya, I'll go to the Brahmana's house and I'll tell him and to come to do the service of the deities. And Yadunanda Acharya, he goes with Yadunanda Acharya, and Yadunanda Acharya basically then leaves. So now Raghunath Das Goswami sees that there is nobody. I mean, he just checks if anybody is following him, and he sees that nobody is following him. And then he runs, basically. He just simply runs. Now, there is a route from where he stays to Jagannath Puri, which is the shorter route. So generally people, if they take that shorter route, they reach in 4 days. So after going for some distance on the shorter route, he realizes that if I go by the shorter route, they will be able to, the guards of my father will be able to catch me. So then he starts running in the other direction, and he goes from hills and through various villages and so on so forth. It takes a very long route, and it takes him 15 days to reach Jagannath Puri. Generally, which takes only 4 days, he took 15 days. And here, I mean, in the morning, when Govardhan Majumdar realizes that his son is not there, he again sends the guard. They try to search him on the shorter route, but they don't find him. So they come back and inform Govardhan Majumdar. And while Raghunath Das Goswami is just running, he's not staying at any place. His anxiety is that if I stay in one place, they'll catch me. So he is very anxious to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he just simply continues running, and he runs for 15 days, and in those 15 days he has meals only 3 times. So and other times he's just simply walking, and finally he reaches Jagannath Puri, and he directly goes to Gambhira and meets Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He pays Dandavat Pranam to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after looking at Raghunath Das Goswami, is very happy, and he actually hugs him, and uh, and tells Swarup Damodar Goswami that please arrange prasad for me. So he tells Raghunath Das Goswami, you go take a bath, have darshan, and then have prasad. And and he's very happy after looking at Raghunath Das Goswami. So Raghunath Das Goswami does as what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, and then comes back, has prasad, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructs Raghunath Das Goswami, to Swarup Damodar Goswami to take care of Raghunath Das Goswami, because he has come, I mean, he has run for 15 days. so to take care of him and make sure that he is um, well fed with prasad. So uh, Raghunath Das Goswami actually starts living there, and so he every day what he's seeing is Swarup Damodar Goswami is bringing him a plate of prasad, and he's nicely having that prasad and then doing japa and all. So he thinks that I'm not come here to take service, I'm come here to do service, right? So that's what he thinks, and then he runs away from there. I mean, he thinks that this is not, I mean, this is not right, that I should be given prasad every day, and then uh, people are I mean, I've come here to serve and not to basically take service. So he runs away from there, and he starts basically begging at Jagannath temple near Simhadwar. So he goes and stands there whenever the pandit or they distribute prasad. So whatever madhukari he would take, and then with that he used to subsist and enjoy that. Now meanwhile, here in uh, here his father, Govardhan Majumdar, is trying to find out where his son is. So there is a person called Shivananda Sen who actually every year takes a tour to Jagannath Puri. So Govardhan Majumdar writes a letter to Shivananda Sen asking him whether he has seen his son in Jagannath Puri. So because they always go by the short route, Shivananda Sen that I have not seen your son. And so he replies back to his father saying that I have not seen your son, and I will go to Jagannath Puri next year. So if you want to send somebody with me to find out, I can take them. So I'm basically Govardhan Majumdar was saying, now he was trying to send his servants to Jagannath Puri, but then Shivanand Sen said, no, don't send them now. I'll take them next year whenever I go. So that's okay. And so Raghunath Das Goswami is now living in Jagannath Puri, and he's very happy doing Madhukari and doing bhajan. So and he tries then basically through Swarup Damodar, he is trying to get instructions from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Uh, uh, I mean, this chapter basically describes those uh, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says to Raghunath Das Goswami. I mean, he gives some instructions basically, and even that instruction Trinadapi Sunichena is mentioned in this. So this is one of the instructions which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives Raghunath Das Goswami. And slowly Raghunath Das Goswami, when he was begging at that temple door, he felt that he is becoming judgmental. He is thinking that, oh, this person will give me, this person will not give me. This person is good, that person is good. So he even ran away from there. And then there were some free stalls. So he started taking from those free stalls. And looking at all this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy because he was seeing that he is following the renounced order very strictly. And there is a discussion between Swarup Damodar and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they are discussing this, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is actually very happy to look at the renunciation of Raghunath Das Goswami. So slowly, Raghunath Das Goswami is eating from those free stalls. So he just goes there once, takes whatever is little bit he needs, and on rest of the time he's only doing bhajan. So and Raghunath Das Goswami is actually enjoying. He's very happy. He's very ecstatic, and enjoying this uh, in Jagannath Puri. So next year, when Shivananda Sen comes along with his associates and all, so then he finds out that he tries to find out if there is anyone who has come from his place. So he comes to know that there is one renunciate, and he finds out, he sees Raghunath Das Goswami, and he reports back to Govardhan Majumdar that your son is in Jagannath Puri and he has become a very famous renunciate. So Govardhan Majumdar, after hearing from this, thinks, why is my son enjoying begging? I mean, he thinks like that. So that is what like materialistic people think, right? I mean, how come you can enjoy all this? But for devotees, the enjoyment is very different, right? I mean, we enjoy when you serve properly, right? but for materialistic people, the enjoyment is when there is more Aishwarya, then only we can enjoy. So that's what Govardhan Majumdar thinks, that how can my son enjoy begging, basically, and because he seemed to be very happy and ecstatic, and he's enjoying that, right? So he's thinking. So what he does is he sends few of his servants along with some money, and to Raghunath Das Goswami, but Raghunath Das Goswami rejects all of that, and just simply continues with this. Slowly, going forward, Raghunath Das Goswami even stopped eating from those free stalls. Now, what used to happen is, there used to be prasad, like the prasad used to, I mean, the shopkeepers used to sell the prasad of Jagannath. Now, after a few days, that prasad becomes spoiled, right? So they throw it away, and and there is odor coming from it because it has spoiled. So even the cows don't eat. And Raghunath Das Goswami starts eating that. I mean, he slow. I mean, alone goes quietly, takes that, and then washes it and then eats it. Now this comes to the notice of Swarup Damodar Goswami, and he goes and meets Raghunath Das Goswami, and Swarup Damodar Goswami actually takes a morsel and eats it, and says to Raghunath that you are eating alone, you are enjoying, and tells this to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also comes, and he also wants to take that, but then he takes it once and says that whatever Raghunath Das Goswami you have touched, that has become nectar, and I'm enjoying this. But then when he tries to take the next morsel, Swarup Damodar Goswami stops Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, saying that this is not fit for your eating. And there Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says to Swarup Damodar Goswami that whatever Raghunath Das Goswami has touched is nectar, and I really like it. Uh, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu becomes very happy with Raghunath Das Goswami, looking at his very strict vows for renunciation. Um, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually gives him a Govardhan Shila and Gunjamala. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to wear that uh, Shila, and he gives it to Raghunath Das Goswami and says that please worship this Shila, and this is Krishna. I am giving you Krishna. So this is Krishna, and you worship the Govardhan Shila and the Gunjamala. So Raghunath Das Goswami becomes very happy, and he starts worshipping that Shila, and it is mentioned in this chapter itself that by offering tulsi and water to that Govardhan Shila, uh, Raghunath Das Goswami used to feel very happy. And in fact, if you used to, even if you offer like 12 types of paraphernalia to the deities, you will not get that happiness which Raghunath Das Goswami used to get by offering water and tulsi, merely water and tulsi to that Govardhan Shila. And till date, today also in Vrindavan, I think in Gokulanand temple, that Shila is still worshipped. The Shila which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to wear, and which he gave to Raghunath Das Goswami. It is still worshipped in Vrindavan. And I think once we go there, we should have the darshan of that Shila as well. So now after this, after few years, I mean, Raghunath Das Goswami lived with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for 16 years. And after that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left this planet. And then Nityanand Prabhu left the planet. So then Raghunath Das Goswami became very morose, and he wanted to die. He wanted to die by jumping from Govardhan Hill. So he went to Vrindavan, and there he met Rupa and Sanatan Goswami. And Rupa and Sanatan Goswami told Raghunath Das Goswami that you are the one who has lived with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for such a long time, and you know all the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So please give your mercy and describe those pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the pastimes of Jagannath Puri, uh, to us of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Raghunath Das Goswami used to do bhajan sitting at near Radha Kund, and give those transcendental pastimes of Chaitanya. He used to describe the transcendental pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sitting on the banks of Radha Kund. And in that assembly used to sit Krishna Kaviraj Goswami, who has written Chaitanya Charitamrit. And most of the pastimes which are mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrit are the ones which Raghunath Das Goswami has described while giving those, while describing the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Krishna Raj Kaviraj Goswami actually, if you look at Chaitanya Charitamrit, it is actually a gift from Raghunath Das Goswami, right? Uh, if you look at it that way, because Krishna Raj Kaviraj Goswami used to sit in this assembly, make notes of it, and based on those notes he wrote Chaitanya Charitamrit. And also there are many pastimes of Raghunath Das Goswami even in Vrindavan. One of them is like he is the one who actually uh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had identified the Radha Kund and Sham Kund, but it is Raghunath Das Goswami who basically made it properly beautified it, properly did it. And so what happened is, once a devotee of I mean a devotee went to Badrika ashram, and by walking during Char Dham Yatra, and he offered he was very wealthy, so he offered his wealth to to Lord Narayan. And Lord Narayan actually instructed him that go to Vrindavan, find a person called Raghunath Das Goswami and give this charity to him. So that person came to Vrindavan, found out who is Raghunath Das Goswami, gave that charity to him, and using that charity, Raghunath Das Goswami actually built the Radha Kund and Sham Kund. So what we see today as Radha Kund and Sham Kund, this is all the mercy of Raghunath Das Goswami. The way it is there is all mercy of Raghunath Das Goswami. And it is mentioned that there are 5 trees in the Sham Kund, and there was a plan to actually cut those 5 trees, but they actually are Pandavas. The Pandavas came in the dream of Raghunath Das Goswami and told them that we are sitting here and meditating on Lord Krishna, please don't cut us. So those trees are actually the 5 Pandavas. And if you see that Radha Kund is pretty straight, right? But the Sham Kund is little tilted and bent, and it's not of like, just like Krishna, it's not straight. So that's how it is. And there are again few more pastimes of Raghunath Das Goswami. He used to Lord Krishna, he used to stay at uh, Mansi Ganga or near Kusum Sarovar, and he used to do his bhajan daily. And at that time, Vrindavan was very densely forested, and even lions used to come there, and tigers used to come there. So one day, Raghunath Das Goswami was sitting there doing bhajan, and 2 tigers came to drink water. And Raghunath Das Goswami was busy doing his bhajan, and Lord himself came as a cowherd boy with a danda and protected him. And Sanatan Goswami saw this, and he became furious with Raghunath Das Goswami. He said, have you come here to do service of Radha and Krishna, or to take service from them? So please build a bhajan kutir. So that's what Sanatan Goswami told Raghunath Das Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami said, okay, I'll do it. Again, he was very busy. He was totally absorbed in doing his bhajan. So and one time he sat near Radha Kund in scorching heat, and he was doing his bhajan. And Radharani personally came there, and she put her, she provided shelter, shade to Raghunath Das Goswami. Again, Rupa Goswami saw this, and he became furious. So that, have you come here to take service? So after that, Raghunath Das Goswami built a bhajan kutir uh, in Vrindavan, and he stayed there, and finally left his body in Vrindavan. And his samadhi is, I think, there near Radha Kund. I haven't, I have not visited it. I did not get the fortune to visit it, but I think we should go. And I think it is also there at the 64 samadhis. I am again, I have not seen it. So but we should go and definitely visit the samadhi of Raghunath Das Goswami. So this, I mean, I have very briefly described the pastimes of Raghunath Das Goswami, but there are many things to learn from his life. In fact, he is the Prayojan Acharya, right, for us. Raghunath Das Goswami is the Prayojan Acharya, and we should take a lot of inspiration and lot of, I mean, uh, basically, he gives you the result of your uh, austerity, right? So we should pray to Raghunath Das Goswami that we also get mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And I think with that, I will conclude. Any questions, any comments, any
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Shreegopal Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Hare
Mahesh
Krishna,
Yadav.
yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prabhu. Prabhuji, actually, I mean, probably I'm not qualified probably to say this, but it is materially, it is very inconceivable to, to see what Raghunath Das Goswami has mentioned or did his pastimes. I mean, like, when eating the spoiled food and all. I mean, this kind of facts only it has occurred at that time, and now it has. I think I really doubt someone is doing like that, but
Oh, no, 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 no.
Materially it is
No, Prabhuji,
inconceivable.
I'll tell you, it's not. See, it
I'm
used to
sorry,
happen
Prabhu.
at that time.
I'm really sorry, Prabhu. I'm really sorry. It's that I don't mean to. I mean,
No, no, no. I'm just trying to say that it is not that it just happened during that era. Even today, I mean, see what we do. We go around Govardhan Parikrama, right? Now, what we do in the Govardhan Parikrama is we go on the. I mean, there is a route which we just take. But if you go inside, there are still caves there. There are still sadhus who live that I mean, it may not be of the level of at that time, but there are still people who are there in Vrindavan who are totally dedicated and totally renunciate, who are following very strict renunciation, and they are able to, and the Lord himself comes and protects. I mean, I have heard a story of Chandrasekhar Baba, who was a Nimbarki sadhu, and he still, I mean, so these and these are not very old. These are very recent, and people still, there are sadhus there um, who who follow this very strict renunciation. Now, you are right that for us, because what we are in the state of life, right, where we are, for us it is inconceivable that we can that kind of. The lesson to learn from all this is that if you make your guru happy, if you serve your guru well, then you will finally get to that. I mean, you may not, I mean, you will get Krishna finally, and the Lord will himself take care of uh, I mean, the situation. If he wants you to go through that renunciation, he will allow you, and you can still, you will be able to do it if the guru, and if you serve the guru well. So you can see that Raghunath Das Goswami, though being very detached and everything, was still not able to uh, go to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu till Nityanand Prabhu gave his mercy, right? So that is what it is, right? Until the guru is happy with your service, or you make the guru happy, it is difficult to achieve Krishna. So that is what um, not difficult, it is impossible to achieve Krishna, right? So that is what Raghunath Das Goswami uh, I mean, the life of Raghunath Das Goswami also shows. And 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 once he got that mercy, once he became submissive, once he got the mercy of Nityanand Prabhu, all the obstacles in his devotional service were removed, right? He could run away from his home, he could serve the Lord, he could achieve, he could lot of people did Nirjala Ekadashi. right? Some of us may not have been able to do it. Some were very easily able to do it. Some did the path of devotional service. But I mean, not just Guru, but other Vaishnavas also become happy. They give their blessings, and all the obstacles then from the path of devotional service is easily removed. So that's what this pastime also shows.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Actually, probably I'm not qualified to ask these questions, Prabhu. But I don't know, when we living in a material world, when we think, think in that way mostly, and he also leaving, leaving their home or their parents, coming out. Is it not, somewhere hurting parents for a bigger cause? I don't know. Is it really? I'm not a person to judge, Prabhu, but leaving parents and going, is it a right act or not?
Hare Krishna
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji.
finally,
Hello.
yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji, go ahead.
Only one thing, no, just it was my imagination or anything. He's leaving his parents means there are so many people to look after. He's going for a very big cause. It was a very big cause because he was he was an exalted devotee. He was transcendental, actually. He doesn't know anything about this materialistic. He was not thinking. One thing. One more thing is what I feel is, though for we people, normal people, materialistic people, that food used to, we used to see it as a rotten food. But he thought it as a prasadam. So as soon as he ate it, it was good only, I think, because of Krishna's mercy. We don't know how he felt and all. But
yes,
this will be the reason also. Mahesh Prabhu, this one I thought.
No problem. Yeah. Probably, I need to little bit elevate myself, Mataji, probably to understand this transcendental topics. But somehow, whenever living in this material world or in this society, mostly our thinking always gets into the direction of materially only. How many parents in this world, even in the devotional service, the parents who are there in devotional service, how many parents today will agree that his kid or her kid is taking sannyas?
Yeah. It is there. But after that, sometime they will understand it. They will understand. Even anybody, even Madhvacharya, he left at the age of 5 years. He left. Then and he wanted to take sannyasa at that age. With the sannyasa should be taken with the permission of parents only. That is, then first they did not permit him at all. But he was very much keen on that. And after that, the father only permitted him, because parents are also in the materialistic life. We also want our children to have grihastha, to enjoy and all. No? To think in that level, it is very, very difficult. It needs, we have to be in that devotional level. Then only the parents can understand. But after some time, they will understand it. That's it.
Yeah. Yes, Mataji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. If I may add something, Prabhu, all these people we are hearing are not ordinary people, Prabhu. They are all eternal associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which are the Gopas, right?
Correct.
I remember in the last class somebody was telling, I don't remember, but he is one of the very close Gopa friends of Krishna, who was born as one of the Goswamis. So, I'm with you completely on that. That's inconceivable for us to kind of think that 500 years back this happened. But the parents and those people, all of them are thinking not at material level, Prabhu. The material level, we are their sons and they're our parents. But at a spiritual level, they are gone above that. They're thinking about that, above and beyond that, and they have born for a cause to help Chaitanya Mahaprabhu excavate and install Vrindavan for all of us. So they're not ordinary. Even to give an example, Prabhu, right now also in front of you, if you go to Vrindavan, there are these Sadhu Babas who do 108 standing Dandavat Parikramas at one place, and they're doing it from the last 20 plus years, Prabhu. And we saw them, if you remember, while doing Parikrama. So how can you are believing that because it's in front of you? Just because somebody has got something in the past that, some things are like that, Prabhu. You have to you know, they're all the Karana Janmas, right? They're not ordinary people, you know. So,
yes, Prabhu. Actually, my point is, Prabhu, I agree. They might be Gopas or Goswami, 6 Goswamis. They might be the associates of Radhamma, and they have taken birth and they are eternal associates of Lord Krishna. I agree to that. But they have come to show something, right? So we have to make them as ideal, and as a devotee we need to, if not to their level, at least we should come near to them. So they have set a benchmark or a line or a baseline where we need to reach to that level, right, Prabhu? We have to take them as a benchmark, right? I mean, I know they are eternal associates of the Lord, and when we try to do that, how much practical or how, I don't know if I'm getting my point.
So Prabhuji, that's why they say you should not imitate them, because they are like, just because
exactly
asked, we cannot do the same thing. We have to follow their footsteps, but not imitate them. Because, and also it says sannyas can be taken with permission of your parents and your wife, and they are all, you know, in agreement for their sannyas. It's like, you know, even when they're taking sannyas, it is with their agreement of the parents. So we cannot imitate them. But whatever they have told, you have to follow the footsteps. That's why, you know, it's very clearly told in many times that, you know, following in the footsteps means, like, you know, follow the instructions, but not imitate them, like them, like, you know, like just leave everything and go. We cannot do all that stuff. But you have to follow the instructions. That is what is the essence, Prabhu.
Correct.
Yes, Prabhu. Got it, Prabhu. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Shreegopal Prabhu, for a nice class on this festival.
I mean, I think we should have classes on all the 6 Goswamis. We'll learn something.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, they have given us so much. Now, if you go to Radhakund today, it's a blessing from Raghunath Das Goswami. Otherwise, we would not have that. I mean, the place called Radhakund, right? I mean, the way it is there today, it would have been, I mean, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu definitely identified it, but then it was Raghunath Das Goswami who made sure that it is still available to us.
Yes, Prabhu. And we definitely remember this when we are going to Yatra, and make sure that, you know, I'm pretty sure Adhisham Prabhu and Sitaram Prabhu will talk about all these things.
Yeah.
That's why we have to do the Yatras, Prabhu. We had, you know, every year we should go remember all the things that the people have done for us, all these great Goswamis have done for us, and how they have brought Vrindavan back.
Yes, yes.
You know.
I think once you study and then go to Yatra, you will actually, feel that you can feel that their blessings also. Basically, if you know them, right? If you know, and then you are going to their samadhi, or you are going to their look. I mean, the places where what they have done. I mean, it will give you that connect with that place.
Yes.
So it's really I think important.
Enhance. So thank you, Shreegopal Prabhu,
Prabhu.
Wonderful narration. You have gone through different lectures of Maharaj, and you nicely narrated actually. So I want to share one thing, Prabhu. On this day, I'm happy to share that, you know, I got initiation on this day. Panihati festival in US. In US, wonderful festival, and then that's not the for me. See, you narrated so nicely, Prabhu, and he has given that you all know that one famous scripture, that Mana Siksha, is written by Raghunath Das.
Yes.
We all should read actually that book. It's wonderful to know. And so, Prabhu, Mahesh Prabhu, these are sometimes, you know, you won't understand, Prabhu. These are all highly these are all manjaris, Prabhu. Rather, the pastimes of. So we our speculative brain always defeat us. So better to hear in proper, you know, sources and in the disciplic succession.
Sure, Prabhu. Got it, Prabhu.
And
sorry, Prabhu. Sorry, actually, I don't mean to. I mean.
No, Prabhuji. It should not. There is nothing wrong.
Nothing. We feel sorry, but we always, you know, mind. You know, we are still contaminated more, Prabhu. You know, always look at we see with material examples, with material. So, and Padma Mata rightly said that there is a higher cause is there behind it. No,
Right, Prabhu. Right, Prabhu.
that's the thing.
Mahesh Prabhuji, don't feel bad, because you have to ask, like, for a material persons like that, these questions should be raised by somebody so that others can also understand. If any other devotee or non-devotee, when you meet some person, if you tell about Krishna or Raghunath, they don't believe, then you can explain, this is the thing. It is
Yes,
better.
Mataji.
Yes, don't.
Yes, Mataji. On that particular point, Mataji, I don't have any shy, Mataji. When anything is there, without any hesitation, I will put in front, Mataji.
Yeah, you should, so that it enlightens all of us also.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, and so what is Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami saying? Thus I have described the meeting of Raghunath Das Goswami with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is giving us? Anyone who hears about this incident attains the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So hopefully we will all one day attain this. And with that, I think we can close the class. Thank you, everyone.
Very well.
So, Shreegopal
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah, Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you.